So I get a lot of questions online about what tires should you go with in your Fiesta ST for the winter. So first of all, let's look at what the car comes with for the summer. Well, from the factory, you got a nice 17-inch wheel with a nice wide summer tire. Now, this is just not exactly what you want to use for the winter. The reason is, look how wide this tire is. It's got huge tread blocks, it's very wide, very low profile. Also, the tread compound for a summer tire is such that it's meant to operate at warmer temperatures. In fact, they usually recommend something around like 40 or 45 degrees above Fahrenheit. That's the operating temperature that you should be operating this tire at. And it also handles high heat much, much better. So if you're autocrossing or open track or aggressive driving, this is the type of tire you want. Also, with this very wide profile and large tread blocks, you've got adequate surface contact to the road. In each one of these tread blocks that you see here, what this does is that the tire conforms and kind of molds to the road surface. And so the larger blocks you have, the more contact area you have with the road. Now this is fine for summer, and this is great for aggressive driving. And if you live down south, you get to use this all year long. Now, let's say you live in the north, or like me in Michigan, and you got a snowstorm coming in already this week. What are you going to do? Well, this is not what you want. What works well in the summer, this wide stance, big tread blocks, is not what you want in the winter. Basically, this tire is going to act like a snowshoe, where the contact patch is so great that the weight of the vehicle distributed over this large area causes the vehicle to kind of sit up on the surface of the snow, where the kind of like the powder or the loose snow is. So you have the least amount of traction, least amount of bite. This rubber compound below temperatures of 40 degrees becomes hard and won't grip to the road. Also, the way these tread blocks are designed, you're not going to evacuate snow. This thing would make one revolution and then become completely clogged up with snow and be a useless tire. This is the worst thing to be driving in the winter in. You shouldn't even be driving in cold temps in wet. This week I had temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s, and with damp road conditions, I'd get wheel spin in every one of my gears, basically 1 through 4. So while this is great in the summer, this is horrible in the winter, and you'd be unsafe to even consider driving in this. So what do? Well, move this off to the side. You need to get yourself a winter tire. So why does this work better than that? Well, multiple reasons. One, as you can see, this is a much narrower tire than the summer tire. It also has a much taller profile. If you think of the summer tire acting like a snowshoe, where it wants to distribute the load of the vehicle over a large area, this works just the opposite. This is a smaller contact patch, so you have more force, your pounds per square inch. You have the same pounds with the vehicle weight, but you have less square inch that you're going to be putting that weight down to. So a tire like this is designed to kind of cut through the soft snow or the powdery snow and get down to the packed snow down below, where that's where all the traction and the grip can be had. Also, if you look at these tread designs, you'll see that there's these sipes that are been cut, like little rivers that are cut through the tread. And what that does is it allows the tread block to vibrate. And by having the tread blocks vibrate with these deep cuts through here, the snow and ice that builds up inside here is allowed to evacuate out, so like a self-evacuating tire. So this is what you would want to have for a winter tire. Now, part of the other equation is, well, can I put 17-inch snow tires on the car? Yeah, of course you can. But I always go with the smallest wheel possible with the most amount of sidewall that I can, and the skinniest profile or skinniest width that I can. And here's why. As you're cutting through the snow, and you've got a summer tire, you probably only have about this much depth of the snow before it starts getting on the inside of the wheel. And once it starts to build up on the wheel, it starts to get vibration because now the vehicle is out of balance. So by having the most amount of sidewall, you're kind of gaining a little bit extra distance between the rim and the snow surface, so you have less that's going to be built in here. Also, if you're like me, where you spend a lot of time going sideways in the snow, the more amount of sidewall you have protects the rim from either impact also from snow being pushed inside the wheel, so you get less vibration. So you ultimately would really like to have a nice open spoke design that you can get in there and clear the snow out. Unfortunately, the wheel that I wanted that had that option wasn't available, so I ended up with these Sparco Pistas, which are actually a pretty good looking wheel. And also, if you have an ST, you know about brake dust, you're going to want a wheel that's a little bit darker in color than what you'd want maybe for the summer. You're not going to be cleaning these all that often. So another reason to go with a small wheel with a lot of sidewall is in the springtime when snow begins to melt, you still get a kind of a melting and freeze cycle going on. The roads become all busted up. You get potholes. Potholes are what's going to kill a summer wheel and tire combination. You're going to blister the sidewall, you're going to damage the wheel. Having this much sidewall on a winter tire come springtime is going to protect the wheel. It's going to keep the wheel safe, and it's going to use the sidewall of the tire, which is basically like a spring, to absorb impacts from potholes and keep your wheels nice and round rather than all squared off. I've tried 14, 15, 16, and 17 inch wheel and tire combinations for the winter. I've never been to 14, I've never been to 15, but I've destroyed a set of 16 inch wheels with pothole damage. So I usually try to go, what is the smallest diameter wheel that I can go with? And on the ST, is a 15 inch wheel, which is just enough to clear the brakes. And that's what I would recommend that you would go with. So when it comes time to select them, I'd head on over to TireRack.com. That's where I get all mine from. I look at what's the smallest wheel, 15 inch, what's the skinniest aspect or skinniest width, which I think these are 185. What's the most amount of sidewall? 60 series. So I ended up with a 185/60 R15 General Ultimax Arctics. I've run these on my 2014 Fiesta with great luck, and I'm going to install them on the ST and try them out this year. So there you have a little bit of what the how to select a winter tire and what the major differences is between a summer tire and a winter tire, and why they're important to have on your ST. Don't try driving with a summer tire in the winter. It's downright dangerous. You're going to put yourself and others at risk. So avoid that at all costs. So get yourself a proper set of tires, get them installed before the snow falls, and you'll be a lot better off this winter. Plus, the car's a heck of a lot of fun to drive with the right amount of tires on it.